Perfect. 7 right on the nose. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. I would ask at this time if you have any additions to the agenda for committee level.
One addition, Your Worship,
Okay.
police issues.
Sounds good. We'll add that under approved additions. 8.1, policing issues. Okay. Any other additions this evening? Okay, so we do have one addition. I would ask for a motion to approve the agenda with one addition.
Move to approve as amended.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder?
Seconded.
Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded. Okay, our agenda is approved as amended. Okay, presentations, we will go back to this one. I believe Chloe Fox is going to be coming in person for this. So we'll move on to council reports on assigned committees. And before I will start with the deputy mayor, I didn't have a chance to finish my written report, but as soon as I do, I will email that off to folks. I wouldn't want to try to list it off. I'm probably going to forget stuff, so I'll just, I'll circulate that whenever I have that completed. We'll start with you.
Through Your Worship, yes, had a Eastern District Personnel meeting and Eastern District Planning Commission meeting, and I have a waterfront development meeting coming next week.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Your Worship, we had our first festival strike meeting on Wednesday past, and I think we had a SAT meeting, did we, Council? No, we didn't have a SAT, it was last month. And we had a police advisory meeting this afternoon, obviously, just this afternoon, and that's it for me, I guess.
Thank you. And over to you.
Yeah, Your Worship, Straight Richmond Housing Matters Coalition was March 20th. Cape Breton South Recruiting for Health was March 28th. The Offshore Wind Task Force was April 9th, and the Development Committee met on April 9th.
And from all those meetings, anything earth-shattering that needs to be shared? Just basically regular business.
Regular business.
Regular business.
We got a couple of new members on the festival
that's
committee,
exciting.
and we had a good meeting with the festivals just to kick off and just decide what we're gonna do.
No definitive dates yet? Are you guys are
Yeah,
still
there's
working on
different dates. We're gonna shorten it up this year. Instead of 2 weekends, we're just gonna go with the 1 weekend, starting on Thursday and end on Sunday. Instead of
Alright.
spreading it out, nothing going on, we're
Yeah.
gonna get it, so there's something going on for everybody.
Nice.
Get it in quick, so anybody that's away that wants to come home will have ample time to come home.
Perfect.
But
That's-
Just the dates, Your Worship, is from July 4th to the 7th.
Fantastic.
Tuesday the
July
4th to the
4th to
7th.
the 7th. Awesome. Okay, so we will move on now to our CAO reports. So facilities, operations, and parks. I guess, I believe Terry is going to be just reviewing some of the reports in lieu of some absences. So I think it's over to you, Terry, for the reports.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. So I'm just going to do some highlights from one highlight from each of the areas. With respect to, I'll jump to, just give me a second. So with respect to facilities, just to let you know that we're into the emergency shelter project for the Civic Center. So the generator has been ordered. It's due to be here in July. We have a contractor, electrical contractor for the installation of the generator, but also associated work. So in order for that to work, we have auxiliary heat going into the Bearhead room. We have the power issues in the kitchen, and some other improvements that are going to help make this this building a better emergency shelter, which will work in conjunction with the fire hall, which is a primary emergency shelter as well. Marketing, recreation, tourism, you've seen the spring flyer. Do we have the flyers themselves? Maybe we'll get those before the end of the night. So the new spring flyer is out, but copies of each of the pages were included in your package. Just a couple of heads up, just some concerts that are coming, Fabulously Rich, April 26th, The Relatives, May 11th, Carlton Stone, May 17th. Of course, preparations going on for Granville Green, the spring recreation program in underway, spring classes starting soon at the pool, and busy time for recreation. Engineering and Public Works, the report is fairly detailed. Just a little bit of a heads up on the Public Works building. If you look today, the steel is all gone, so all that's left is concrete. So that the demolition is working well. Our design is nearing completion. We'll be out to tender at the end of this month. That tender will go out. Our foundations will be in for the building prior to July. In July, the building comes. So everything is on schedule to move forward. We haven't seen obstacles through the process yet. Just on sidewalk design, it was awarded to Straight Engineering. That's the sidewalk and accessibility improvements. Eastern Town Transportation, just an update on that. As of today, we awarded to Bryland Construction. A couple of things on finance that are action items. So the audit R4P. So if you're on the audit committee, you'd have got a note from Aaron. R4P was issued for an audit service provider for a 5-year period. Based on the review scoring and overview with the audit committee, it's recommended that we move forward with Grant Thornton. Grant Thornton had more hours allocated to the audit, and it was slightly less price. But we recognize too, with them, there's no transitioning to a new audit, so we're recommending that we move forward with retaining Grant Thornton for the next audit, and that will come forward in the May public meeting. Straight IT, just again, Aaron will send out some information here, but we'll be looking at some amendments to the intermunicipal agreement with respect to the Straight IT group. And that is the report.
Thanks, Terry. We'll open up the floor if there's any questions for any aspects about this share. Good.
No, fine, thanks.
Okay, thanks for the report, Terry.
Just a comment, Your Worship, through you. It's just nice to see the Works Department building moving along.
It's exciting.
Looks good, yeah.
Fantastic. So we'll move on to other business. So you all would have received a presentation called Poverty Impact on Health and Wellbeing at Councillor O'Coin's request. He asked that we share that in our community report package. And if it's the wishes of council, he's happy to do a little presentation at our next meeting or answer any questions. It's completely up to council, so we can check in, I guess, in the next 2 weeks to see if that's something the council would like. If the presentation itself satisfies council in terms of information, that's fine too. So I'll leave that with you all. And I know, Blaine, you're part of the group as well. Did you want to add anything to that?
No, I don't, Your Worship, no.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll move on then to Leaside Society. Facility dog support program. Terry, did you want to review that for us?
So what I can say very briefly is that the letter, the request from Leaside was added in your package, which outlines the program that they want to put in place. Certainly staff would see that this is it's an excellent program, and and could be of real benefit to the to Leaside Transition House. We've also attached the financial estimate. And so what we're suggesting to council is that we consider this through our budget process. And we'll be asking as well that other municipalities will be requested to donate as well.
Okay, is that fine? We can kind of add that line item, and I can circle back to the executive director as well, and just recommend that she, I guess, seeks support from our surrounding municipalities as well, since Leaside does serve the region in terms of for women and their families. So we will, I guess I will do that, and I guess we can add that to our budget discussions. Any questions, anything in what was shared, any more information that you would need that I can bring to our next budget meeting?
No, Your Worship.
Okay, so we'll move on then.
Your Worship, if I might, just in regards to the poverty impact on health and well-being, I believe that came from the Cape Breton South, the Straight Richmond Housing Coalition. And I wasn't at the meeting when that was presented,
No
but I
problem.
knew that Jason was going to bring that forward, so just to clarify, yeah.
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
appreciate that,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, so we'll move on then to 7.3, which is the 2024 municipal elections. That's happening quickly, determined by super fast.
So Melissa's been doing some work on this for a number of months actually, and there's a report included in your package. And we put together some slides and on summary, and she's agreed to take us through the slides as our new returning officer.
Through you, Your Worship. So municipal elections are held every 4 years on the third Saturday in October as per the Municipal Election Act. The next election is scheduled for Saturday, October 19th. Council may, by bylaw, authorize voters to vote by traditional paper ballot, by mail, telephone, or electronically. So on July 9th, 2020, the Town of Port Hawkesbury enacted a bylaw allowing for telephone and internet voting to be used for the October 2020 municipal election, in addition to traditional paper ballots. So the final list of electors in 2020 was 2,602 electors, and the total number of electors who voted were 1,905. And of the total number of electors who voted, 1,415 voted by either telephone or internet, which was 74% that voted by internet or telephone. The election had 73% voter turnout, and compared to 45% in the 2018 special election, and 54% in the 2016 election, and 70% in the 2012 election. So from December 2023 public meeting, council requested a voter turnout information. This table was provided by Municipality of Kings, which came from Department of Municipal Affairs and Housing. In 2008, there was only 4 municipalities that were using e-voting, and their voter turnout across the province was 42%. And by 2020, there was 39 municipalities that were using e-voting or electronic voting, and the voter turnout increased to 52%. So some of the comments that the municipal units around the province that I've been in contact with on running hybrid and fully electronic voting methods. So it increases accessibility. increased voter turnout, eliminated the need to seek out many polling staff, so less human resources are required for the municipalities that chose fully electronic voting methods. The voters found the process easy. It's convenient for voters, so as they can vote from anywhere. Reduces time to cast their vote. Less time on staff resources. So out of the municipal units that I spoke with, this is the one item that everyone has come back with as a benefit. Hybrid format is like running two separate elections. So with electronic voting, your results are immediate right away, and if for paper voting, you have to still count the votes at the end of after the polls close. It increases security and privacy for voters, eliminating all the voter lists.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Melissa, just on that last slide?
Yeah.
So when we talk about the hybrid format, that's using paper at like maybe 2 in-person paper voting days prior to the election and the day. And the day
Yeah,
of.
paper, so offering paper ballots as well as.
Right. Could
Phone
another version of hybrid be still having in-person for people who prefer to come and vote in person, but having that electronic, so no paper, but they could come, and if they need assistance with how to vote electronically, they can.
Yeah, so I'm gonna show you a sample of that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm ahead of myself.
So I asked a question to other municipal units that ran fully electronic last election and how they supported voters that were not comfortable with technology. So voters could vote by landline telephone if they chose to, and if they were more comfortable. Many municipalities that ran fully electronic voting methods had set up electronic kiosks or polling stations and help desks around the municipalities to assist voters that weren't comfortable. And many of the comments received were that the electronic kiosk process worked well, and a help phone line was used in 2020 if voters needed assistance that started on advanced polling day. So the proposal from staff is to utilize the telephone electronic voting system augmented to reflect the traditional system without paper. And that would include polling stations will be established for advanced poll and election day utilizing an electronic ballot. Polling stations will be held at Sunset Manor and Port Hawkesbury Nursing Home as traditionally done. A help center will be open during the voting period from October 10th to October 19th. Telephone and electronic kiosks will be made available at the help center for assistance in voting throughout the voting period. Processing of election results will be open to candidates and their representatives at the conclusion of election day. So this is just a sample of a voting kiosk. It would just be an iPad, which would have an electronic ballot on it instead of a paper ballot. There they are set up again. There's some cute little helpers. Casting their votes. So then an electronic ballot, this is just a demo, like a sample of a demo of how to vote electronically, which would be an electronic ballot. So this would be your home screen, which would have the town of Port Hawkesbury on it. And then you would input your security code. And then your candidates for mayor would be listed here, and you would make your selection. And then you would review your selection before you cast your ballot or before you cast your vote. And then it would review your vote for you. And the same process would be done for counselors, except you would choose your 4 counselors. And then you would have your chance to review your vote before you actually cast it. And then it would show you that your vote was submitted. And then a summary of your votes would be provided at the end. So just a review. Electronic and telephone voting, the results are accurate and immediate. So you would find out your results at the end as soon as you close your polls. It increases security for voters, increases accessibility and convenience for voters as they can vote from anywhere, reduces the chance of human error when counting ballots. Telephone and electronic voting is the most efficient use of staff time and resources, and reduces the overall cost of the election.
One of the things I'd add is, so like on election day in advance polls, it would be almost identical to going and getting a paper ballot, except you go to the kiosk and there's the electronic form for you. People are there to help through that process. If you get there, like, you have to have a code. If probably most of you voted electronically last time, you have a code, you put your code in. If you've lost that paper, if you can't remember your code or whatever, then we can give you a new code. So if your code is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and we strike that out, so that can't be used again, the person's given a new code. So it does seem, the people we talk to, it does seem pretty seamless, and for the most part, the biggest part is there's not duplication. So the issues that we had last year was just trying to reconcile both the paper and the electronic. The issue it came about no one there, candidates, representatives, or candidates to see the vote. So that certainly could be made available. So when that time comes, candidates or the reps can be there, and we go through the process with the screen.
Any questions for Melissa or Terry?
Through your worship to Melissa. Melissa, there's a table number 2 that's part of your presentation. It's electronic voting and voter turnout in Nova Scotia municipalities 2008 to 2020.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So could you just clarify the numbers? It says municipalities using e-voting, 2008 was 4.
Yes.
2012 was 14, 16 was 23, 20 was 39. Does that mean those municipalities solely used e-voting?
Not all of them solely used e-voting.
E-voting or e-voting plus hybrid.
No, so that's what I just clarified. So like 39 in 2020 is not necessarily saying they were 100% e-voting.
No,
There was a number that would have been in
that were
number
hybrid.
that would have been hybrid, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we were probably in that.
Yes, you were. Yeah.
Yeah,
There was.
you're-
I believe there was 12 that used hybrid in 2020.
So my kind of raw math is right, there was 27 that were completely
Electronic.
And I checked, like, of those 12 that used hybrid last time, there's 6 that have chose to go fully electronic this time.
6 out of the 12.
But there's also some under consideration. So there's a number of those 12 that haven't made their decision yet, but the recommendation is to, but we don't know yet.
Any comments or questions?
Well, Your Worship, just the same comment I guess I made in December when we first discussed this, I think it was December. 25% of the people that did vote in the last election voted by going to the poll and completing a ballot. The other 3/4 was through the e-voting. So I just have some reservation about 25% not participating if there's no option for the paper ballot.
Go ahead.
Well, just to answer your question there, I like what I seen here, and that is the part where if you go in, instead of getting a paper ballot, you're getting something similar. It was right there on the other one. It's the same as a paper ballot, if you look at it.
It's just
Show the one,
electronic.
and it'll show you just like a paper ballot, you vote on, except there's no paper, right there.
It's just like
So
paperless
that's
voting.
kind of the same thing.
Yep.
You still have a poll.
You still go to the poll, you
People-
still, the names are there, you click them off, you just hit enter, rather
People
than
like,
putting it into a box.
people like the social element, like people like coming in on election day.
Absolutely.
I have no reservations against the doing, in lieu of the paper, doing it like that electronically. But I definitely wouldn't want to see it all electronic without having an opportunity for people to come in person and cast their vote electronically at least. Because that's a big part of election day. I think people like to come in and do that in person.
So Your Worship, I agree with that. But I think maybe what ought to be looked at going forward for the election is some educational piece about just how it works.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
people, I'm not sure what Advertising Elections Nova Scotia does around that. But I think just kind of, that would be an encouragement for people, okay, yeah, you can't get a paper ballot, but you're still not at a disadvantage. And so
That's a
anyhow, I
good
think that
point.
would be worthwhile.
So Melissa, could you review the assistance piece for the kiosks? How would that look
There
like?
will be help there.
Yeah.
There is videos available that are very simple.
We could share them in advance on social media and the
Yes.
website, but
Yeah.
if people even want to come in, like you said something about the week of the election,
Mhm.
you'll have like a help desk set up. So if people come in and have questions before election day, they can come in and ask them. And then if they come in and want to vote in person, then you'll have that, I guess, confidence.
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Councilor McDougall, have a question?
Oh, sorry.
Yes, Your Worship, thank you. I guess I'm not gonna be running, so I'm not really, I like it, well, something mostly 90% of that here. One of the issues would be the nursing home. And especially with what you just said, Your Worship, with help. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna need help down there, and it's gonna be above and beyond what we have here. So that's gonna be something that will have to be worked in.
Yeah, we should definitely give some special consideration to any special needs at both the nursing home and Sunset Manor to make sure they have the support they need to execute their voting.
And like you just said, Your Worship, special needs is another issue that, like my niece, for instance, when she went in, my sister had went in with her and would have to help her to vote and that, so it's no different than paper
No,
vote. It'll be the same.
whether they have to write it for them
Yeah.
or input
Input it,
the
it's exactly,
information.
you're right.
Yeah, it's the same, it's a different method, but the space.
Oh, I like it.
And Your Worship, through you, with the electronic vote, is that going to be just open on specific days, or is it open the same time as the phone or anything? Is it open?
24/7.
Advanced poll.
Once it's open for that period.
So once advanced
24/7.
poll opens, it's open for everybody from then till election day. They want to vote from home.
Yeah.
No, I understand that, but I mean to come in to vote.
Oh, yeah, there'll be advanced poll.
Like, are you going to have advanced polls? Are you going to have
day of.
regular polls? Or is there going to be a spot
You mean for
where,
the kiosks?
that I can come in anytime during and vote?
To the returning office.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so right from October 10th to the 19th.
Right.
See, we did this last year, so with hybrid, so we had kiosks set up in the returning office.
Mhm.
Anybody who wanted to come in, came there and they were given help as to make their vote electronically. We'll do the same thing, you can vote anytime. It's just that we want to keep with the suggestion is that we keep with the same traditional things that we've always done. So if we had an advance poll last year, although we don't need it because you can vote anytime,
No,
we're
but
still
you
gonna
would-
have them.
You would still need the advanced poll because there's two different ways of voting, the way I'm
Yeah.
understanding it. One is the way we voted last time, and this new kiosk thing is new.
No, we had the kiosks they were set up but
Not
for,
like, not for this, not this
no,
time.
not for voting, not for polling day, yeah. Not for election day.
Yeah,
Or
so you'd
advance
have
polls.
election day, you'd have this type of voting, correct? And you'd have one on an advanced poll day. I think you have to have two advanced poll days, actually, according to the
Yes.
Elections
Yeah.
Act. So, but, and that would only be set up.
Yeah.
Anybody else could do it the other way, anytime from a certain date
From
to.
October 10th to the
Exactly.
19th, yeah.
Correct.
But for these two ways of voting would only be on the regular election day and the two advanced poll days.
Exactly, because you'd have to follow the Elections Act.
Yeah.
And that's what constituents are familiar with. So
Yeah,
that's right.
we would keep it basically the exact same, it would just be paperless versus paper.
Mhm.
Okay.
We want to make sure we have, sorry,
No, you're fine.
we want to make sure we have enough help, so we'll probably overdo it a little bit this year, just in case, like we're gonna, that people aren't waiting or get
Once people
frustrated.
get used to it, you can probably
Yeah.
figure some of that out.
No, I think it looks good that way. Like you're coming in, you're still seeing your candidates, you're
Yeah,
still
exactly.
touching your X
People
where you
like
want
that.
to. Yeah.
People like the election day, but.
And as you said, your worship, the social aspect of the election, there's still a lot of people, like Councilor Corey said, like it was 26% of the people here came out to vote
Yeah.
on paper.
Mhm.
So you may get 26% again that come to the poll to do it
For
that
the
way,
kiosks,
just for social aspect of the whole thing.
Exactly. And we would want to change that because that's part of elections.
And everything's not techie, everybody's not techie, so
No.
there's still people that have to
Yeah.
acclimatize to.
But hopefully we'll have like lots of support to help them through the process. I feel like the thing with COVID too, if people became techie as a result of COVID, now my dad can maneuver his way around his smartphone like nobody's business. Where before he's like, how do I call someone? Anyway,
Yeah, cheers.
yes. Anything else for Melissa or Terry, or we can move on?
So we do have to move this, so we'd like to take a recommendation forward to the May meeting. And I'd like to have, if we can pull it together, we'll have the first draft of a new bylaw. So we have to have a bylaw in place, a voting bylaw to, so if we approve this, then we can go right in and approve first reading of the bylaw, or we can, I guess we might have another month there, so we might be able to defer that. It's just that our time is getting a little bit short as to getting things in place.
So what are you looking for? Like a recommendation from this meeting?
Are we okay for this to go to our public meeting for consideration?
I'm fine with
Okay,
Great.
sounds good.
If
Thanks,
it's
Terry.
laid out or works out the way it's laid out.
Exactly, as presented. So residential curbside spring cleanup, that's everybody's most exciting time of the year besides Christmas. Everybody's so excited to figure out what the date is. What are you
So
doing?
the big date is May
Big day.
13th, so it's the week of May 13th, and so this is what we've done over the last several years. So we had the heavy cleanup the week before the long weekend in May.
It's a great date.
Mhm.
And it has been shared already on our social media, and it's up, been shared on our social medias already, I believe.
Okay,
I think it was in not this notice, but I think it was in the recreation flyer, the date.
Oh, I didn't, good for you, I didn't see that.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, somebody spotted it, screenshotted it, and it went all
Viral.
over the internet, into the nether regions of the internet. Everybody has the date already, so. But it's good to refresh folks with regard to the rules and what can go to the curb and what, and when it can go to the curb. All right.
May the 6th.
Any questions, or I think it's kind of
It's pretty straightforward.
same thing every year.
Just a comment, Your Worship.
Sure. go
To
ahead.
you, I don't know if the deputy mayor picked this up today in the meeting, when we were talking about garbage and other than going around the table, the mayor of Mulgrave stated that they have 2 days of pickup, regular garbage and the waste, biomass or whatever garbage. And then at the end of the month, they had a heavy pickup every month. Did you pick
Yeah,
that
that's
up?
what I thought I heard.
I thought I heard that too, and I was kind of thinking, well, how are they doing that? Would that be expensive or?
Yeah. It
I
may
wonder how
not
they do
be
that.
as
Okay.
expensive for them
Maybe-
because
maybe-
it's such a small, they definitely have
Oh, maybe.
less residents.
700.
That's true. 650 toast.
Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, Your Worship, I don't, that service is provided by the municipality of County of Gosford,
Oh, okay.
so a district of Gosford. So it's not, and that's their own service. So,
Just not weird, that's all. No, that's
Yeah.
fine. Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, my understanding is it happens on a weekly basis, every Thursday. You can put appliances and,
Maybe it wasn't
Other
the
stuff.
least, was it?
so that's pretty exceptional that they do it on a
Absolutely.
weekly basis.
And do
It was
we have a
once
place
a
up
week,
by the
yeah.
Public Works building still, or?
Yes.
So really, we have, not curb pickup, but any residents who need to, I guess, you need to get rid of a stove or whatever have you, we can go up to the Public Works.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it would be making it a lot smaller, obviously, through the year, because you can,
Yeah.
when that week comes, you go around town and there's half a bit, somebody's basement that looks like their whole furniture, their whole houses there.
It's a yard, it's a free yard sale
Yeah.
everywhere you go. See people driving by right slow and stopping and picking up chairs and
I
stuff.
don't mind that part of it.
Oh, I
That's
don't
good.
mind that. I'd rather see something get upcycled
Exactly.
than go to the dump.
Reuse.
Upcycle, that's the new.
The 4 Rs.
Recycle, upcycle.
4 Rs, right?
Yes, that's
Not
right.
3.
Yes, I love seeing things get a second life. That's great. Okay, so the next item is for information for council with regard to the Cape Breton Wren and their activity report. There's a lot of information in there, so you might have to take a weekend to go through if you like. But my question to council is if they would like some future meeting, we can invite Tyler or a representative from the partnership to come and give us a Coles Notes version of where we're at with regard to the Wren. If you so wish. I mean, there's a lot of information in this report, but if you would like to have somebody from the partnership come and then be here to answer any questions, certainly happy to do that.
That's the same fellow that goes to a development meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good, he was pretty good.
Yeah, Mark,
No,
No,
or Tyler,
Tyler,
yeah, Tyler.
yeah, Tyler's, so Tyler, I'm sure, I think Tyler's trying to plumb our development committee meeting. He's planning to come and speak to council with respect to changes in our intermunicipal agreement.
Okay.
So that could be
No,
added here.
absolutely, yeah, no, for
We,
sure.
we might, Martin Thompson, our development officer, economic development officer, has moved on to a position called the manager of energy sector development. And they are advertising for a new person
And
for
the
that
economic
position.
development officer.
So when that person comes in too, that'll be another opportunity.
Yes, 100%, I completely agree. So Martin is in a different role, but he hasn't gone far. He's still working for both the town and the county of Richmond, so. All right, so I guess we, as soon as we're able to determine a future date for a presentation, we will let council know.
Good.
And approved additions, we have one item, policing issues, so over to you, Councilor Judy.
Yes, Your Worship, thank you, through you to just the council for information. This afternoon, at our police advisory meeting, Dave was gonna be here this evening, he said, but he moved to next month or rescheduled it anyway. But anyway, what other councils were doing, which is, I thought was a unique, not unique, but a good idea. We usually have our wish list, or what you call it, our priorities every council meeting.
Priorities, yeah.
What other councils were doing, and Bonnie read off all her councils, every councillor sent in a couple of priorities which they would like to be addressed by police to have ready for Dave on his. So maybe if we could do that and send it to Melissa or Terry or somebody,
No,
every
that's-
councillor would do that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Maybe Melissa can start an email thread just to remind us maybe sometime next week. And then we can just respond with our priorities within Melissa's thread so that we have, she can compile the priorities for us for the next meeting. That works, if that works for Terry and Melissa.
Sure.
Perfect. Oh, great idea. Is sometimes David usually does this presentation and asks what the priorities are, but it's good to kind of think about that in advance. Because sometimes you don't think of something and you think of it afterward.
Well, actually, that's what happened, Your Worship, today. They kind of threw it on us, well, what's your priorities? And
Yeah.
I just, well, we didn't really go over it.
So we never talked about
Give
it.
us some time.
Deer in the headlights.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, no, that's good, and then we'll be prepared when David comes to present to us. Wonderful. Anything else on that item?
No, that's fine, thank you.
All right, so future meetings. There's lots of slides to get through.
You know,
I think just a slide with our future meetings is probably our next public meeting, May 7th, followed by a committee of the whole. And I would ask at this time, adjournment.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor, please signify by
Aye.
Contrary minded, meeting is adjourned. Thanks everyone for your time.
Thank you.